Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the channel. We finally finished our Goremongers. It's been about a week. I did take the extra time to do a good job of painting these. As you can see, they have red skin. I thought it was kind of a cool idea to have them painted red since they're so obsessed with the blood letters and they have red skin. So it's not too far, to say that they did something with their skin to make it look red. So, I mean, they did, cut off their legs to, have robot legs to be similar to blood letters, I believe. So yeah, we're gonna take a look at each one of these. I also want to explain a little bit of how I did them. A lot of you have been asking how I painted my models, so why not, start with the Goremongers, which is the thing that I painted most recently. We got a couple of things down here too. We got our Forge Fiend and Karn. Just to give you some context, those two are the newest models that I painted. Karn was sitting on the shelf for a long time, so but these guys I immediately assembled and painted it the moment I got my hands on them because they're so good. I'm gonna be fielding them tomorrow against a Blood Angels player, and that's gonna be a lot of fun. So let's get started though. We'll immediately jump to the Blood Herald, I guess. This is the one that I think I spent the most time on. Let's see if the camera is focusing here. There you go. I think that's good. So a little tip for you guys who are looking to paint minis. If you are wondering about how to do a particular color scheme, it's always good to do a Google search to see if someone has done it before. I did that, and someone apparently already did red skin, but they seem to have done it in a different way. They did use a lot of highlights. I wanted to keep the skin a little bit darker, so I'll tell you guys how I did that. But a little piece of advice for you people out there who are looking to paint is to do a test model before you do everything. So if it doesn't work out, then you can always just change the color scheme, and it'll be easy to do because you've only done one model. That's what I did for this model. I painted the skin red, and I wanted to test out a way of doing it and to see if I liked it. I didn't want to just put red and some kind of wash. I mean, it is a kind of wash, but I had to do the wash kind of custom and not just off-the-shelf wash. So yeah, I started with the skin. Actually, I started obviously by assembling it and then priming it Chaos Black, and then from a rattle can, and then immediately I went to the skin because that was the thing that I wanted to try the most. I wanted to see if it'll look good. So I immediately went to Corn Red. I could have built it up from a darker red, like Flesh Terrors I think is a little darker. But I decided to go with Corn Red because I just didn't want that many layers to spend too much time on it. So I did Corn Red, just a flat Corn Red. I did leave a little bit of black here and there. I don't know if you can see it. I can't seem to find it, but it's not super important because of the next step. So immediately after painting it Corn Red, I think I did two thin layers. And then immediately after I did a wash of Black Legion. But I did have to water down the Black Legion to about 1 part Black Legion and 3 parts water. So it's super watered down because Black Legion is a pretty strong contrast. It's a contrast paint, not a shade paint. So you shouldn't just use it as a shade, obviously. So I watered it down 3:1, and then I tried to apply it to the red to darken it, and to also give it darkness to the recesses. Seems to work out pretty well because this is looking pretty good. So yeah, that was immediately the next step. I really liked the way it looked. I only had to adjust how much black that was in there, and 3:1 I think is good. I think I also did 2-to-1 and it was a little too dark. But yeah, 3-to-1 seems to be really good on corn red, and this is what you get. And that's it. Like I didn't want to do highlights. I just didn't want to do any of that. And then after that, so here's another tip for you guys who are painting right now, is that you want to pick your colors as you go sometimes, right? So let's say I did a skin color, I did a red skin color. So it's gonna play differently to the other tones on this model. And I decided that, for example, I wanted to paint the pants just gray, some kind of gray, and I thought that gray would have been too dull. So I decided to go for Dark Reaper, which is also kind of gray, but there's a more of a cool bluish tone to it. And I think it plays really well with the red. And then you also have the leather straps on the body. Wanted to originally just do it black, but I thought it might have been a good idea to do a lighter color just to have some contrast. And I think it works out well. And the straps on the chest are it's just Rakarth Flesh and then Agrex Earthshade, I think. Either Agrex or Reikland Flesh Shade. I don't think it'll make much of a difference. But yeah. And then after that, the gold parts are just Balthazar Gold. Did want to use Runelord Brass to try, but I ran out of Runelord Brass. But I think Balthazar actually really works out well with the red, the corn red. And it looks really, really nice. So, and then obviously the steel parts are just Lead Belcher and I actually didn't use Nuln Oil. I'm starting to just like using Black Legion. Like if you just water down Black Legion, it's a much stronger wash than Nuln Oil, because I did try layers and layers of on Nuln Oil, and it seems like Nuln Oil is actually just watered down gray, not black. So it's not strong at all. And for me, I really wanted some dramatic sort of contrast between the silver and the darker gray or darker silver. So I used Black Legion watered down, and it's a lot more stronger of an effect. So I've just recently been using that instead of Nuln Oil. So yeah, that's what you see here is Lead Belcher with a Black Legion wash, also wash 3-to-1. And then you have the skulls. The skulls I decided to do it differently from the skulls on the ground. Normally I use Xandri Dust for skulls, but in my opinion the best looking skulls is actually using Rakarth Flesh and then using Agrex Earthshade. So that's what I did for the skulls on here, and well, it's supposed to be the one that's hanging off of the lantern that he's holding, but I did smear it with a lot of blood on purpose because he's the Blood Herald. So you can't really see it on there, but you can definitely see it here. If it'll just focus. I think that'll do it. There you go. So yeah, the skulls look a lot better with Rakarth Flesh and Agrex Earthshade. The problem is that sometimes I use Rakarth for the skin tone. And I use Rakarth and Reikland Flesh Shade, which is really nice for skin tone. But since I used red for the skin, I decided to use Rakarth for the skulls. And then I highlighted a little bit of the black with Eshin Gray. Not very strong highlights on purpose because I didn't want to highlight a lot. So let's see what else. I used what is this color called? It's a brown. It's Catachan Flesh tone for the leathers. So I can't speak today. I differentiated the leather on the bottom and on the top because it's different colors. You have red for the skin tone, and on the bottom it's mostly this bluish gray. So I wanted to use different tones just because they play, they're definitely, the juxtaposition really plays a part between the different colors. And I thought Catachan Catachan Flesh looks really great on that blue there. So yeah. And then these blood tubes, I don't think I did that great of a job, but it's basically just corn red and then I added a layer of Mephiston red to differentiate the blood from the skin tone. And then I just sort of washed it with white, Corex white, watered it down, I think like 3-to-1, and then to give it this sort of, what to call it, cloudy effect. And then I'm probably just going to use a shiny coating on top of it to make it look like tubes. I wouldn't say this is the best that I've done it. I did a lot better on the Lord of Skulls, but yeah. And then you just sort of use white on the brush, a really fine brush, and you just dot it for the bubbles, and it kind of looks okay to me. Not great, but I whatever. It's tubes. It's a blood tube, man. Whatever. All right, so that's how I did this one. The rest are pretty much about the same, but I'll show you guys every model. Just so, or maybe, yeah, it's only 8 models. I'll show you guys. I really love the sculpt on these. These are so cool, man. They're just sort of hanging off of the ruins here, and it's so cool, dude. This one's wearing kind of a shirt. So I painted it the same color, Rakarth flesh, but obviously the effect of it is different because it looks like a shirt, whereas previously it was just straps. Yeah, so I think it looks great. I forgot, I also added blood. It's just blood for the blood god, and you just smear it on places. I thought that, the blood on the shirt looks really great, actually, if you can see it. There you go. I did put in a lot of effort onto the legs. There's some, I did, made decisions on which one. Basically, the trim is gold, and then everything else is lead belcher with the black wash. The tubes are just black, and then yeah, the leather on the strap is just black. I didn't want to give it a strong color because it would take away from everything. So yeah, just a lot of decisions on color, and I made those decisions as I was painting. I didn't want to just make decisions from the beginning and just commit to it, because I know that sometimes if you make decisions and it doesn't turn out the way you like it, you might have to make other changes. So I really just built up colors as I was painting and sort of made up my own color scheme as I went. Like the flesh color for the shirt, that was something I made up along the way. I wanted to do catachan flesh, which is the brown that we use for the leather, and I just wanted to use that for the shirt. But I'm glad I didn't, because then it wouldn't have this contrast. The contrast I thought was really cool. On to the next one, and then there's some, more boring models like this one. It's just leaping off the ground, but I think it looks great too, though. So the story behind these is these are pretty much just jackals or cultists, and they saw a blood letter in action, and they were like, hey, that's a cool demon. And they're like, maybe we can move like those demons. So they decided to get robot legs, and so they're a lot faster than regular jackals because they have robot legs. So and then the unit's also really strong. Obviously, they're infiltrators. They're not very killy. They're also not very tough, but they can do reactive moves. And for world eaters, infiltrators and reactive move right now is pretty amazing. I heard a rumor today that the new codex had been leaked, and we're losing a lot of things, man. I really hope it's not true, but I don't know. We haven't heard the full story, so we don't know yet. This one kind of looks a little bit Slaanesh-y, maybe because I don't know, man. Like the tongue sticking out is very Slaanesh. Very Lucius of the Emperor's Children. So, if I can focus here. There you go. So yeah, same color scheme, exactly the same everything. I don't know what I did differently, but oh, there's some skin here on the bottom. As you can see, it's a red skin. I thought that was kind of cool. So as I was assembling, I didn't notice it at all, and until I built it, I was like, hey, this is like really well thought out. Like having the flesh here and then the bracing, like it all makes sense. So design-wise, I thought that it looks great. The first time I saw these, I was disappointed because I was like, oh man, they just changed some little things on the jackals and then called it a different unit. But having painted them and assembled them, like they're actually completely different. Not completely, but there's obviously some similarities. But even the headgear is all different. They just share like a body. And they're all different poses from the jackals, so really cool. I think out of all of them, this one's the most boring. This dude is just like standing there. There's no action pose. He's just standing here. He's just chilling, letting his friends do the work. I'm just gonna stay back with my axe and smear some blood on my axe and to make it look like I'm doing work. But really, I'm just chilling. This guy's just chilling. Yeah. Had so much fun painting these. I did take a week to paint them, so I think it was just like 1 or 2 hours a day. 1 or 2 hours a day, and then yeah. Could have spent a lot less time, I think, correcting and doing all of that. But I wanted to do a nice job because I just wanted, I do see these as like units that I'll always bring. Like having infiltrators, if you have any form of 8-bound or any form of scouting units, having these is probably super important. So I wanted to do a good job on a unit that I am gonna bring to every match. So yeah, and I thought the red color skin looks really great. Oh yeah, I forgot about the little searing tattoo there, or the searing scar. These are in every model. If you would just please focus, camera. Come on, camera. Please. Maybe right there. So yeah, you can see there's like a scar and I decided to just light it up. And what I did for that one is I did a very watered down Corex white. I think maybe like 2:1 or 1:1. And then you just sort of paint it onto the recesses of the scar and then let it dry and put in a little bit of Fire Dragon red. So you'd want, maybe a yellow would work too, but I thought this orange red works really well. So you just want like a bright red. So that's part of the reason why I wanted to leave the color a little bit dark, the skin color a little bit dark, is because I wanted this contrast. I wanted to do more of those, but yeah, I thought like having this one scar looks really good. Yeah. Just gonna go through quickly on the last two. I thought this one looks probably the most amazing one. This is the most amazing looking one for sure. Well, other than the Blood Herald. The Blood Herald is definitely the coolest, but this guy's just so cool, man. He's just picking up that chain harpoon thingy, and I did smear it with a lot of blood, obviously, because that's what World Eaters do, is spill blood. Yeah, this one's so much fun, but it's kind of annoying to assemble, obviously. Everything is just on this pillar. But yeah, super cool pose, and so much fun, man. These Goremongers are nice. If you don't have them and you're a World Eaters player, please get them. They're so good. They're so good in every way. They're so much fun to paint. Look at the masks. These crazy masks. There you go. Sorry guys, it's not focusing correctly, but all right. Anyway, everything's painted the same way. If you guys have any questions and if I missed anything, please just comment down below. And if you haven't already, please leave me a like, subscribe, and comment down below. For more tutorials. This is not really a tutorial, more like I'm just telling you guys how I did it. I don't know what that's called. But if you have questions, comment down below. I'll reply to it. And I usually reply in great detail, so... the fun thing about these is on the blood tubes, I tried to make it such that it's sort of, how do I say this? It's the correct angle that the blood is, moving in, since it's in the tube and they're kind of in an action pose. So that was really fun. You don't have to be super accurate about it. You can just sort of estimate where it would land. And then if it's not accurate, then you could just say that, you know, it's moving around, so the blood is also moving around. So yeah, that's kind of a fun thing. But I never like to paint it like filled to the brim. There's people I see that just paint the whole tube red. I don't really like that. It just doesn't look good to me. It looks so much better, and it looks a lot more like tubes, like blood tubes, if you just leave it like half or like 75% full. I don't know. You know, that's so much cooler. But yeah, that's the crew. That's the Goremonger crew. Oh, actually, I did forget to paint the rim, so I'll just do that later. Other than that, yeah. Oh, so just the processes that I took. Obviously, assemble it and then prime it, Chaos Black, and then paint it. Just you know, all the different painting steps that I said earlier. And then right after that, I did the basing. The basing is simply just AK Dark Earth, which is probably the most efficient way to get basing material. Well, one of the most, because you get a big tub of it, and I'm not even halfway through it, and I have my whole army. I have 3,000 points of World Eaters fully based, and we're not even halfway through. So this is AK Dark Earth, and then I did a very generous amount of Agrex Earthshade onto the base, and let it dry for a couple of hours, and then I dry brushed it Ryza Rust. So this is what you see here. If you see a bit of orange on the ground, on the mud, is because it's dry brushed Ryza Rust. And then I put in some grass tufts, and then some skulls. And the skulls are just Xandri Dust and Agrex Earthshade. And then finally, I just did a just smear a Blood for the Blood God all over the weapon, the base, some of the skulls, some of the shirts and armor. Yeah. And then finally, the very final step, I did use a matte coating on all of my models. I use it for every single model to protect it from being scratched while you are on the table. So yeah, these are fully protected. I just did that actually like maybe an hour ago. So this is fully dry and it looks great. And I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Quick peek at my Forge Fiend, if you guys haven't seen it already. I also finished this. I almost dropped it. I almost dropped my Forge Fiend. So yeah, quick little glance at my Forge Fiend. I did make a short for it, but I thought maybe just a little sneak peek at this guy. I haven't fielded this guy in a long time because it's not very good. But yeah, I think it looks pretty nice. Excuse me. If you guys haven't already, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and leave me comments down below. And this is gonna be the thumbnail, I think. There you go. There you go. Beautiful. I'll see you guys on the next one.